The Edmonton Oilers are out on the road, and we are back in studio. I have not done an in-studio show since about April, I would say. It's been on the road at Greta. We got some more on-the-road shows coming your way as well, but we are back, and we get our own little studio all season long, so I'm very excited to stink this bitch up and make this my own. But I mean, where would you rather be? Madison Square Garden or our new studio, who knows, as the Oilers get set for a matchup with the New York Rangers down at the world's most famous arena in MSG. But hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy. Presented, of course, by Bet365. Download the app today, because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. First in-studio show of the year. And I got my pal, Zach Laing, news director here at Oilers Nation, riding with me. Shotgun, if you will. We are pre-gaming. Shout out to that. Feels good to be back, people. I also saw somebody in the chat. I think it was Cedric. He said, sure wish I could have some beers at work right now. Come get hired at Oilers Nation, buddy, because it's all the time. Zachary, how we doing?
Bordzy, I'm doing good, man. Happy to be back. Happy to be back doing pre and post with you. Last time we did it, we didn't have a whole lot of fun. But I think
why? What do you mean?
I don't know. Blocked it out of my memory.
Yeah, that sucked. We've actually done 2 post-game shows after the Cup final, but that's not what we're here to talk about. It's an early one today. Apologize, a couple minutes late. When these pregame shows go down at 4 p.m. local time, everything gets bumped up pretty severely here at Oilers Nation. But we're pre-gaming, and we are happy to be here with you. Let's get caught up in the chat. I see some familiar faces in here, of course. Zach, he hasn't missed it yet. Austin's been the first comment all 3 shows. He says, Bordzy, you know what to do. Let's fucking go. I appreciate that, Cedric. Let's go Oilers. Let's go Bordzy. First episode of the season for me. Happy that you're back, Lance Kane. A simple cup year.
Cup year.
We're so back. We're so back, boys.
That felt good.
Fighting Amish just says simply, let us cup.
Absolutely.
Let them eat cake. Let them cup. Cedric, of course, wishing he could crush some beers. Matthias Janmark, you guys hiring? I don't know. Might be out of a job soon there, Matthias Janmark. Not sure how that one goes. Austin, did someone mention shotguns? No one did. You're the only one mentioning it. We'll see how good of a game we get this evening.
You did
Who
say
knows?
shotgun. You did say shotgun, to be fair. I also like that I can control my own mic again.
Yeah, exactly. It feels good. Brett, why don't we get a look at your face too? We're back in studio. We got Bert. We got a little bird's eye looking down at you going on. You, Bert. Yeah. How we doing? How's the tattoo healing?
The tattoo's healing very well. Again, Scotty from Bad Habit Tattoo absolutely killed it. I haven't noticed anything. I thought today was going to be kind of the itchy day. Absolutely not. The second skin feels supernatural. I'm always like kind of nervous when I'm like sitting there playing video games and I kind of dorsiflex my leg a little too much and I'm like, oh my God, it's stretching. And then I'm like, that's how I got the tattoo. So no, it's going well. I can't wait to take the second skin off and take a look at the final product. I would show everybody, but it would involve me taking my pants off on YouTube. And I don't think that is allowed.
Well, maybe you could just show me afterwards.
I will.
Subscribe to the OF, boys. Subscribe to the OF. Zach, our feet just touched. We are back. We are back. As the Oilers, they're on the road, as I mentioned, New York, Madison Square Garden. The Big Apple, which we covered today, is called the Big Apple because back in the 1920s, they said it was the big ticket or the big prizes they used to do for horse racing. Either way, we're going to take that city down. Zachary, my question to you, maybe you too, Brett. Have either of you guys ever been to New York City before? I have not.
No, I've been to the United States once.
Once? Where'd you go?
Arizona for a family vacation when I was in grade 10.
Classic
snowbirds. Really
snowbirds.
Bad sunburn on the last day.
Oh, Arizona sun heat is bad. Like it's not good. I have been to New York. I went to a New York Rangers game. They played the Chicago Blackhawks. Brandon Dubinsky with a hat trick, and I threw my dad's hat onto the ice. That was pretty cool. We also went to a Jets game. New York Jets game. They played the Green Bay Packers to a 9-3 thriller.
Thrilling.
All of them. All scores were field goals, which was sick. And
special teams. It's one of the 3 phases. Okay, yeah. Everybody knows that.
And then we went to a couple Broadway shows, but we went to a Big and Tall show or Big and Tall store. I was bored, so I went back to the hotel, and then my parents told me that they met Amari Stoudemire, which I sat there and went, well, what the hell? So I was pretty upset by that. But
Slam dunk contest champion Amari Stoudemire.
Great.
Shout out Steve Nash.
Honestly, I've been jonesing kind of to go for a long time. It's just a different vibe of a city. You can definitely feel and tell that it's a different city.
Like, once again, I've never been there before. You hear a lot of good things to bright lights. The one question that I had in my head, which actually, Brett, maybe you can answer this for me. So I've been to San Francisco, and I know that city's known for fecal matter all over the streets, and it smells like shit all over. Is New York similar to that?
I've been to both. Different feel to both as well.
Different feels of shit. That's,
yeah, exactly. Yes, like it's definitely when you're on the streets, you're definitely staying away from certain things. But you just kind of accept. You have to accept that's where you're going. It's kind of like LA when you're going. You're like, I know there's going to be a lot of homeless people potentially finishing themselves off into garbage cans and next to the street. Don't know how that story came to my head, but that's true. But yeah, you just kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, I see Percy's in here. New York is awesome. Rusty, positivity. Time to start this roadie on a high note. The Edmonton Oilers starting their 5-game Eastern road swing for about a week and a half. Also, Matthias Janmark says AZ is the best state, and I live in Florida. Fun fact, I bumped into Matthias Janmark in Arizona last season when I was on my bachelor trip with all my friends. Lance also said Oilers Nation trip to New York. That could be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. Also, Chris Knobloch, love that he's got us on in the locker room. Says, always nice to watch the show before we head out onto the ice. It's early to be pre-gaming. I see some people in the chat pointing it out, but that's what we do here. So the Oilers, we're only 2 games into the season here, folks. You don't want to ever read too much into 2 possible games, but the Oilers, they dominated the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday night, winning 3-1 at Rogers Place. It was just that domination. I mentioned on ONE, Zach, the deserve to win-o-meter, 95% in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. If not for Thatcher Demko, that would have been a 6-1 shit stomping for the Edmonton Oilers. And yes, they dropped the first one in the shootout, 8 rounds to the Calgary Flames, but through 2 games, there's a lot to be happy here about the Edmonton Oilers, right? PP1 picking up right where it left off, even without Zach Hyman, even without Corey Perry, even without the man pulling the strings in one, Glenn Gulletson. Andrew Mangiapane, 2 games, 2 goals. More on him in just a minute. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins looks reborn, like 100-point Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The 3rd and 4th lines, we see them chipping in offensively. Noah Philp scored a beautiful goal in the last game. Also more on him, the new award that I want to give out, Brett, I was mentioning, but defensively, not the biggest world beaters that the Oilers played against in the Flames and Canucks, but defensively, they look stout. Only 2 games, but the early returns are there. And Zachary, the standard in Edmonton to begin seasons here is pretty dog shit, if I might say so myself. So the fact, 2 games in, 3 out of a possible 4 points, that's pretty impressive, especially considering last year and the year prior, it took them 5 games to hit the 3-point mark. Feels weird not having the roof cave in after 2 games into the season. Zach, early thoughts, early returns, looking good.
Yeah, looking really good, Bordzy. Usually at this time of year, I'm writing articles about panicking about the start of a season and how this isn't going well for the Oilers and that isn't going well for the Oilers. Not quite the case here this year. Really impressed with the first 2 games. The game against Calgary, obviously a weird game, right? 3 very weird fluky kind of goals. Really only one of them where you can assign any blame, and we all know which one that is.
Who? No, let's not do it.
No, that's okay. We're not going to get into it that much. And then the Vancouver game, I mean, that was just an absolute shit stomping. That was a very, very impressive hockey game. It's kind of funny. I can't remember who it was on Twitter after opening night. Somebody who's a beat reporter for, I think it was the Winnipeg Jets. I can't remember exactly who. they were saying like, wow, like this game feels so weird to watch. I think it was like Winnipeg and Dallas or something like that. And it was like, oh man, this game feels so slow. It doesn't feel like the playoffs. It's, like it's, wow, it really feels like game 1 of the regular season. Well, shit, the Oilers are playing like it's game 6 and game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. They're all over it right now. We heard the team talk all through preseason and training camp about how important a good start to the season was. And boy, they are putting their money where their mouth is here, which is really nice to see, because in years past, they've always talked about having a good start to the season and then start the season absolutely terribly. So it's nice to see them kind of backing it up. But yeah, very encouraging start to the year.
There was a moment in the second period against Vancouver. It was literally from puck drop to the first TV timeout where Edmonton was just pumping line after line after line. It was a great forecheck in a cycle. And then, okay, we got our shots or whatever we got. Now Vancouver's going to transition it over, and it's a dump in because you just hemmed them in for a minute and a half. Now you go back, get the puck in your own end, you transition back into your end, and you're cycling and forechecking hard again. Like, it was the top line doing exactly what you think the top line's doing. The second line, Savoy's going down into the corners, winning and dancing guys in the corner, then flipping it on over to Nugent Hopkins, getting it over to Mangiapane in the slot and getting a great chance. They go off and change. Oh, okay, now Thomas X line is out there. He just got another couple of chances. Oh my goodness, Henrique's out there again. Now he's getting one. And then, Connor and Leon are back out there. Like, this was like, that was very exactly what you wanted from this team. And to be seeing it in game 2 with a bunch of new guys in the lineup was very encouraging.
I'm curious, people in the chat, what is your number one takeaway through the 2 games? Because going into, I'll say last night when I went to bed and I did my prep, a couple things changed because I want to talk about how it felt like, Brett, what you just mentioned. The Oilers were rolling lines. You saw the Philp line get a goal. You saw the Mangiapane second line scoring, and then you forget, oh yeah, Connor and Leon are playing together. However, the 3 top lines have been entirely switched up for this game tonight, so we're going to get a look at a little bit of everything. But Zach, through 2 games, there's so much to be happy about. It is that depth scoring, which we did get depth scoring throughout the season last year, but it was a little difficult. Your Jeff Skinners, your Victor Arvidssons. Now this year you got your Andrew Mangiapane 2 for 2, but I've liked what I've seen. David Tomasek, Tommy Smokes, that's the nickname we're going with. Ooh. That dude has had chances galore. He's been ripping the puck. I like him for a shot prop later tonight on Bordzy's bankroll, but defensively as well. Against the Vancouver Canucks, the Oilers did not allow a single high danger chance against. The Canucks had nothing going for them. And then you think, okay, you're seeing Oilers producing now that aren't named McDavid and Draisaitl. Then you think, oh yeah, they're about to add a 2-time 20-goal scorer in one Jack Roslovic. Oh yeah, November 1st, we could be adding in former 50-goal scorer in one Zachary Martin Hyman. I like the look of this team, and I like the competition that is going down in the forward group. Speaking of that competition, actually quickly, Super Chat, courtesy of our pal Lance Gain. Reminder, all your Super Chats are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, where last season, between pre, after dark, and Oilers Nation every day, we were able to raise over $10,000. Clap it up. That's good work. That's you. I donated once to the After Dark chat while we were in Vegas, and I was a little bit loosey-goosey. Lance Kane's in $10. Says the start of the season is going so good this year because the wife let me put the oil derrick on the front lawn this year. That's how you know it's going to be a cup year.
Cup year.
Lance Kane, shout out to you. Shout out to your significant other as well. We all have to pay or play our part in this, I should say. But Zachary, exciting. Pre-gaming tonight. We get a new look at the new guy in one Jack Roslovic, slated to wear number 28 for the Edmonton Oilers. Also expected to play in the top 6 this evening with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Matt Savoy. So there you get a look at your screen. Tony Brar. There's several lineup notes. Roslovic making his Oilers debut. Top 6 with RNH and Matt Savoy. Andrew Mangiapane. He's moving up alongside 97 and 29. Thoroughly think that one was deserved. Trent Frederick, he goes from top line right wing to third line center, while Noah Philp scores a goal. Bang, you're out of the lineup. That's nothing new for these Edmonton Oilers. Troy Stetcher, also slated to make his season debut with Darnell Nurse, meaning Alec Regula. He's going to be out of the lineup. Evander Kane put him on the train tracks on Saturday night, and he went through them. The one against the Boards, pretty dirty, pretty questionable in my opinion. The other one, clean as shit. Got to keep your head up. And then finally, Stuart Skinner starts. But Zach, it's all about Jack Roslovic. It's like getting a new toy at Christmas. You knew that you were going to get it. We've had a couple days to think about it. Now I get to open up the toy and actually play with it. There you get a look at his numbers last season. 22 goals, 17 assists in 81 games for the Carolina Hurricanes. Even put up some playoff points in there as well for the Canes. And it's kind of interesting because this summer it was reported the Oilers tried to get one of Andrew Mangiapane or Jack Roslovic. Stan Bowman's so good, he's now nabbed both of them, and they're both going to play in the top 6 tonight. Roslovic, he comes in with that NHL pedigree. He is a 2-time 20-goal scorer in the NHL. But Zachary, the man hasn't played hockey in quite a minute. Obviously, we all know he was practicing by himself in Columbus. That's not game action. That is not the same thing. It's a hell of an opportunity for him to try and grab a top 6 spot with this Oilers squad. That's one of the best top 6s in the entire NHL. It's an interesting case because this man totally fumbled the bag this summer, and he ends up signing for 1 year, $1.5 million. But sometimes, I don't know if it totally works, but the one man's trash is another man's treasure. He's in a beautiful spot here with the Edmonton Oilers. Could even be a blessing in disguise for him in a contract year. What kind of impact do you think he could make on this team? And then you pointed it out, this November 1st, no movement clause, 4-team trade list he can play with, because there's another guy in the top 6 coming back November 1st. But what are your expectations for Jack Roslovic?
I'm trying not to set them too high.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a pretty cheap contract, $1.5 million, right? 19 5-on-5 goals last year. That led the old Carolina Hurricanes players by 6 goals, actually, which was really impressive to see. 21 at even strength, 22. He had 1 on the power play. You can do the math there. I'm intrigued to see how he fits. I mean, I think this is a guy who's going to come in pretty hungry, probably feeling a little bit scorned from what his last agent failed to do for him. Of course, he changed agents in the middle of the summertime. Andrew Mangiapane, Jack Roslovic. What do I say? Why not both? Right?
Hey,
why not
two's
both?
better than one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a top 6 guy or middle 6 guy. I'm not sure about top line or not. I kind of like the idea of him on the second line. He's not a very physical guy. And that's kind of part of the reason why I'm not sold on him being a top line player, because, the Oilers, like McDavid and Draisaitl, need a body need somebody up there who's going to go into the corners, who's going to get to the front of the net, go to the dirty areas of the ice. Well, Trent Frederick, that was supposed to be him, hasn't really gone that great through the first 2 games. He did have 4 shots on goal against the Vancouver
I want to
Canucks,
touch on that,
which was nice to see. But I like the idea of giving Mangiapane a little bit of a bump up here in the lineup. I mean, 2 goals, 2 games, 2 goals, shooting 100%, 2 shots on goal. 100% of the time, works 100% of the time.
he's
right?
literally perfect.
He's literally perfect right now. So, I'm curious to see what happens here. But I like the idea of having Roslovic in this team.
I like that they put him on the second line to start. That's too much, too fast if you put him with 97 and 29. Hand up, I'll be real. Haven't watched a ton of Jack Roslovic hockey in my days before, but from what I've read, from what I've heard, one of his best assets is his speed. So that's the thought where maybe it would work with 97. I don't know. I like him in that second line spot because also come November 1st, I do envision that Zach Hyman's going to be back in that spot. And I'd like to see if Roslovic could build some chemistry with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as a centerman. And you just kind of touched on it. One man who's already built chemistry with, feels like it doesn't matter on this roster right now, is Andrew Mangiapane. 2 games, 2 goals, on pace for 82 this season. Hot take was 25 plus. Should have shot for 80 plus. Who would have thought about that? I liked what I've seen from him. You look there, 13 minutes a night in the 2 games. That's his average. 2 shots, 2 goals. And clearly, Chris Knobloch has liked what he's seen from this guy. I like from the bread man. Also just pointed out here in the chat, somebody said, are you excited for the bread bowl tonight? Artemi Panarin versus Andrew Mangiapane, featuring the bread man in one. Brett Holden over there.
What up?
What up? We should get some sandwiches now. Let's get some sourdough down at the bakery. Oh my God, the bakery's
They
open.
closed at 4.
Oh,
Mother.
I thought about that too because I'm so hungry.
But Andrew Mangiapane, the new bread man, my only bread man. Sorry, Bert. I'm excited to get his look up here up top because the one thing that stood out to me, and especially the very first goal that he scored against the Vancouver Canucks. Away from the puck, finds open ice, McDavid head up, going to get him that puck, and he just immediately fires it on net. The second goal being aggressive, forechecking the offensive end, turned it over all by himself, bang, out he had patience and outweights one Thatcher Demko. So Trent Frederic was the man. Oh, there, you got to look at his. See, those are his points last year, and you look at 28, maybe not the most flattering numbers, but 14 goals not playing on the top power play for the Washington Capitals. That's just consistent 5v5 scoring. Thoughts on Trent Frederic being sent down to the third line there, Zachary, because it was reported for the entire preseason, okay, we're going to give this a real run of McDavid, Draisaitl, and one Trent Frederic. Can he be that Patty Maroon type player, right? The physicality. 2 games in, he's already been taken off that line. And I'm not willing to write him off in the top 6. Game 1, largely invisible. Game 2 against the Vancouver Canucks, I do think he was trending upwards. He had 4 shots on goal. He threw 3 hits. Pretty sure he drew a penalty in there as well. Clearly, Nobby hasn't liked what he's seen enough, and he's going to try him at 3C. Zachary, thoughts on the swap, Mangiapane for Freddie?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I guess
with
not
it.
even a direct swap, but the changing.
Yeah, the change up. I'm fine with it. I mean, I thought the first game was pretty rough for Frederic.
Yeah, it was bad.
Puck seemed to die on his stick. Really didn't get much, if anything, going in the offensive zone. I felt like that was a little bit better in game 2 there against the Vancouver Canucks. I'm fine with him getting bumped down the lineup. I mean, that's going to be one hell of a physical line. I mean, Trent Frederic, Vasily Podkolzin, and Kasperi Kapanen. Kapanen had 6 hits against the Vancouver Canucks, which was 1 more hit than Vancouver's Evander Kane. And the Canucks apparently bullied the Edmonton Oilers in that game, or so I've been told.
Ridiculous.
But, yeah, kind of crazy, right? So yeah, I'm fine with it. Mangiapane, I like the bump up there. I figured he'd get a look up there at some point. It's still early in the season, right? I mean, let's see what they've got chemistry wise. You know that Frederic had 1 shaky game and 1 good game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Frederic back up there on that top line at some point on this road trip here. So yeah, I'm totally okay with it.
Once again, 3rd game of the regular season. We're so back because I saw in the ONE chat earlier today, somebody already going for Chris Knobloch's head and saying, why would you change up the 3 lines? You got depth scoring away from Connor and Leon. And I guess the argument was that 2 games, 2 goals for Mangiapane without Connor and Leon. So why are you putting him with Connor and Leon if he can provide away from him? To that I say, this is game 3 of the season. We need to find out what we have in the cupboards. Also want to give a quick shout out. Let's give a quick shout out to Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every single day of the week. Zachary, it's Tuesday. I think we're going to have a couple of these this evening. It feels so good to be back in studio. You can pick up these up at 2 locations in the Edmonton area, downtown or Ritchie, or simply check liquorconnect.com. Austin, I feel bad for you because he's always telling me that he wants Nation Beer out in Manitoba, I do believe, but it's unavailable. I'd offer to ship it out to you, but that would be a lie because I'm simply not going to do that. Zachary, tonight, the Edmonton Oilers have a much different test in the New York Rangers. So game 1 and 2, Vancouver and Calgary, maybe they're not the most offensive juggernauts in the entire NHL, I will say. Tonight, it does present a different challenge against the Rangers. New York, they are 2-2-0 on the season. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag to start the year, I would say, for these New York Rangers. Season opener, they're shut out 3-0 by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Next game, they shut out the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 4-0. Then they get their revenge, wax the Penguins 6-1. And then they're shut out by the Washington Capitals 1-0. Charlie Lindgren, that was on Sunday, stood on his head in that hockey game. The Rangers, they're a threat. We know it. They've got top-end talent. Artemi Panarin only has 2 points throughout 4 games. JT Miller has 3 and 4. Adam Fox, on the back end, he's leading the team 4 points, 4 games, has 3 goals. Zach, did you check? Who's tied for second on the New York Rangers in points through 4 games?
Will Cooley.
Sam Carrick.
Oh, I know that guy.
Shout out to the boy. We still got his maple syrup on the other side of the office over here. But the one thing that I want to say, the big story, it's Igor Shesterkin through 4 games here for these New York Rangers. For him, he's played in 3 games, and he's been dominant in all 3. So the first game stopped 28 of 29 against Pittsburgh for a .966. Next game out, forms a 37 save shutouts against the Buffalo Sabres, allows 1 goal on 19 against the Washington Capitals. And the Oilers was pointed out on our last After Dark that to start this year, the Oilers are in tough against a couple goaltenders. You had Dustin Wolf. You got Thatcher Demko. You're getting Igor Shesterkin. You're probably going to get Ilya Sorokin on Thursday night. It's a tough go here, but the Rangers, hey, they're led by their man in the very back in the crease, Igor Shesterkin. Zachary, it's gonna need the Oilers to be dialed in offensively here against Shesty.
Yeah, absolutely. Good news for the Edmonton Oilers. Shesterkin, 3 games played against them, 1 win, 3.65 goals against average, 869 save percentage. Nice. The Oilers have found a way to kind of get to Shesterkin in the past here. So I'd like to see that continue here. The Rangers have been a stingy defensive team. Jason Greger wrote about it in the GDB today up at Oilersnation.com. You can still go read that at any point here.
It's in the description of this YouTube event right here.
There you go. Even better. Easy access for everybody to get to the website. I like that. 2 stingy defensive teams, really. I mean, the Oilers have been playing great defensively so far this season. Last year, they were one of the best defensive teams in hockey. So I see that continuing here for this Oilers side. So going to be a really interesting game tonight. But I imagine they're going to want to come out and get offense going early on again. It felt like they could have scored 1 million goals against the Canucks on Saturday night. I'd like to see them score 1 million tonight. That'd be pretty cool.
I could bet on 1 million goals tonight responsibly, courtesy of our friends from Bet365. You like my new sign? Let's now go to our need-to-know information, courtesy of our friends at Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that Wilhauk name, made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products out of their Leduc location or online. For more information, head on over to WilhaukBeefJerky.com. And Bert, we get into Brett's beefs again. You feel free to let him rip if you got anything that you want to let the people know, but you can't rush anger like that.
No, it has to come natural. That's the beauty of it.
I know it's going to happen. You need to know information for the Edmonton Oilers. They are 3-0 in their last 3 meetings against the New York Rangers. They won 4-3 in December of 2023, 6-2 in 2024, and 3-1 last year in March. As I mentioned off the top, several lineup changes for the Edmonton Oilers. Your Cole's notes: Roslovic makes his Oilers debut. Mangiapane, the bread man, alongside 97 and 29. Freddie in on the third line as the center. Noah Philp, you're out of the lineup and into the press box. Troy Stetcher making his season debut with Darnell. The nurse whisperer, as we know, Troy Stetcher has been deemed, while Alec Regula comes out. And Stu looking for redemption for an injury update. Chris Knobloch said he hopes Matthias Janmark is back for the weekend. Who knows? Yanni, you're in the chat right now. Maybe you could let us know how you're feeling. Once again, hopes Jake Wallman could be back for Thursday and Alec Regula on the weekend. While Zach Hyman still got November 1st circled here. That's where we're looking to see him back in the Oilers lineup. And tonight will be the first of 2 meetings between the Oilers and Rangers. Very weird. They'll wrap up their season series on October 30th at the end of the month. Getting out of the way early, getting that game going down at Rogers Place. And then finally, Stuart Skinner. We're being positive today. He's back in the crease. 0-1 record, obviously. Stopped 19 of 22 in the season opener against the Flames. Horrible mistake. Made some saves throughout the game. I mean, he went to 8 rounds with the shootout, so he gave the Oilers an opportunity to win. Zach, had the Oilers won that game in the shootout, I do feel like a lot of the Skinner drama wouldn't have been as bad, but unfortunately, I live in reality, and it was that bad.
Yeah, not great. Good bounce back spot from here tonight, though. Listen, we talk about Shesterkin having struggles against the Edmonton Oilers. Stuart Skinner has not had a lot of struggles against the New York Rangers. 4 games played, 3 wins, 225 goals against average, 926 save percentage. Not the nice number in there, but those are some nice numbers. He's had some success going against this Rangers club before. It feels like New York obviously struggling to score a little bit offensively this season, which is kind of scary as hell for me because I have got a lot of Rangers bags in fantasy hockey this season. So not liking the cold start offensively for them, but I hope it lasts at least one more slower game where they're not scoring offensively, and then they can go ahead and score as much as they want to.
No one cares about your fantasy team, but I got Panarin on the squad. Take a night off. You can start producing as we move along. 2 points, 4 games for the secondary bread man, I will say, in this matchup for the New York Rangers. Mention it, Adam Fox leads the team in points. The Rangers, they rank 12th in expected goals against. They also rank 9th in high danger chances against. The reason they've been able to tread water, Igor Shesterkin, like I mentioned, he's getting the start. He leads the NHL with 4.55 goals saved above expected. New York, they've given up some high danger chances, like I mentioned, but Shesty has been there to bail them out every single step of the way. Let's go now. What's your giant storyline heading into this hockey game? Game 3. There's a couple different changes in here. Throw them in the chat. Let me know. What do you got circled? What are you looking for tonight? What are you watching for? Because for me, it's the new toy I mentioned, but in general, I guess just the new look top 6. What can Andrew Mangiapane do with that top line? And will Jack Roslovic fit in? How speedy is he? Because I've been told repeatedly that this man is very fast and could play with 97 at fast pace. I don't know. My storyline's kind of looking at those two guys. And then I guess you could say, Zach, get a look at Freddie as the 3C. He needs to find his role on this team. He needs to find a spot. Once again, only game 3. But my storyline, new faces in new places all around this lineup. Can they sink or swim? Zach, what's your storyline?
For me, I want to see the PP put the puck in the back of the net.
Woo! Tomasek, you are snake bitten. You need one.
Absolutely. David Tomasek, anytime goal. Anybody? May I interest you? 450 on Bet365.
I'll take one, please.
Already took it.
Do not mind that one whatsoever here tonight. I think for me, that's the big thing. I want to see this power play kind of get going, right? So many good looks against the Canucks. They had some good looks against the Calgary Flames. I know they did score 1 or 2, maybe it was, against the Flames. I can't exactly remember, but 2, I think it was 2. I want to say 2. Yeah. But obviously going 0 for 5 against the Canucks, not ideal considering they generated 2.33 expected goals according to Natural Stat Trick. David Tomasek accounted for 1.06 of them, which is a ridiculously high number, or a high number for any game, really. To have that solely on the power play is disgusting.
Bert?
Zach wants to see a nice, strong PP.
Don't we all? Don't we all, ladies and gentlemen?
Sorry, I was holding on to that for like 2 minutes as soon as he said that.
You got a storyline?
Yeah, I guess it is basically just seeing these adjustments in action as I almost dropped stuff on my table here. I just want to see these adjustments in action. I want to see how Roslovic fits into this lineup. This is going to be the first that we see of Jack Roslovic, obviously, in this system. We may see some growing pains and everything like that, so obviously be patient, but it'll be good to see a bunch of guys in different spots in this lineup, Mangiapane on that top line as well. So my big storyline is just seeing this in action. Let's see how it works.
New look. I like David Tommy Smokester plus 450 on Bet365 for an anytime goal. He might be featured in Bordzy's bankroll in a little bit of a different way. See some people in the chat. Matthias, I want to be able to cycle all lines, score on the power play. Mackay and Dry. Whoa, did he drop in Bordzy bars today? Gonna need you to look through that. Mackay and Dry. Get in your bag. Do what you need to do. And Sean H. Skorkoff says, I feel good about Roslovic. He will take advantage of the opportunity. So, Bert, let's pull him up one more time. The daily face-off lineup for the Oilers this evening. Top line, Leon Draisaitl with Connor McDavid and Andrew Mangiapane. Your second line, Matt Savoy with the Nuge and Jack Roslovic, who will be wearing number 28. We look through the history of number 28s in the Oilers. Connor Brown, Ryan Jones, pretty much it.
Couple of Oiler legends right there.
Lori Korpikoski.
Yeah, there you go.
Lori Skorpikoski.
Chat, play along. Throw some in the chat as well. No Googling. Who do you know wore 28 for the Edmonton Oilers? Your bottom 6, depends what way you want to look at it. I see it more listed the other way flipped, but Daily Faceoff has the Iceman with Rico and Tommy Smokes on the 3rd. Could be your 4th. Then Pods, Freddie, and Cheeks Clappinen, which you mentioned, Zach. There's some physicality. I would not want to be playing against that line defensively. Then your deep pairings, Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse with Troy Stetcher, my boy Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. So looking at this, so there's one name that's clearly missing in this lineup, and it is one Noah Philp. So we have been known to give out the Ty Ratty Award from time to time here in the preseason. It's the guy who looks the best, looks fantastic. And I think we need to start giving out a new award throughout the regular season here on pre and post game, the Jeff Skinner Award. Who gets taken out of the lineup the game after they get on the score sheet and put the puck in the back of the net? Noah Philp, you have the crown now, my friend, because Nobby is going to have him watching from the press box this evening. I thought Philp looked good throughout 2 games. That beautiful play that his line scored, moving up the ice from the D zone all the way to the offensive zone, and Philpy ripped that puck past Thatcher Demko. It's something we've seen frequently before from Chris Knoblauch, whether it was Jeff Skinner, whether it's some of the young guys in previous Oilers seasons, but you play well, you get a goal, and then you find yourself watching up in the press box. I understand it. You're trying Freddie out as your 3C, and with all this competition, the Jack Roslovics, you're going to have your Hymans, your Janmarks, you're everyone in this forward group. It's tough. There's competition, and you got to play for your spot. The thing is I thought Noah Philp did, in fact, play for his spot, scored a beautiful goal. It's kind of funny. It is what it is. Only 3 games in, but Zach, you down to start giving out the Jeff Skinner Award?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get a belt. We'll get another belt.
Yeah, we absolutely need it. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, a little surprised, I guess, to see Phil kind of get bummed out of the lineup here. Played a lot of his ice time against the Elias Pettersson line, pretty much broke even more or less in terms of, shot attempt share, expected goal share. I thought it was a good game from Phil.
Yeah.
It was a good game from that line. As long as Noah Philp is on the NHL roster, I am happy. He's waiver eligible, obviously. So, if the Oilers want to try and send him down at any point this season, he would have to get through waivers first. And I think it would be a little bit hard for him to do so. He's really developed into a great player here. And I mean, great player in terms of somebody who can fill in on the bottom 6. He's a new Derek Ryan to me. That's kind of the way that I look at him. He's the new Derek Ryan, a defensive center, put up a little bit of offense here and there, can kill penalties, good in the face-off circle. The Oilers need a guy like that.
Somewhere in the distance, I just heard Waz screaming Derek Ryan's name.
Noah Philp.
Philp. From the top of the mountains, Mackay and Dry, the Who Does Nobby Have Dirt On award. Last year was the Jeans. Maybe we're giving out the Jeff Skinner award. I like Orphan Child of Tyler's 5 Iron. Wow, what a name. That's beautiful. Also, excellent lore in there. He broke his 5 iron, I do believe. Philp will be back. Let Nobby cook. Once again, it's game 3 of the season, but it is the point, right, that we've talked about a lot that, okay, you think the young guys want to build their confidence, and Nobby, you want, when they have that confidence and they're playing well, you want to keep giving them minutes, giving them opportunity, not immediately putting them up in the press box. But either way, Nobby, you're in the chat. Let me know. What'd you think about that move? Why did you do that? Janmark, Philp's taking Jeff's spot. Oh, so proud at Navi. Philp's been good through the first 2 games. It seems a bit odd. The other one, Alec Regula, he's not going to be playing tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. As I mentioned, he got his shit rocked by Evander Kane behind the net twice in Saturday's game. The only reason Darnell didn't beat the shit out of Evander Kane is the power of friendship, and I stand by that take. Regula, I thought he's looked pretty nice, but we're going to get a look at Troy Stetcher. Once again, kind of like the forward group. Just a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Nice. I feel comfortable with Troy Stetcher. As we mentioned, he is the Darnell Nurse whisperer from time to time. He's an NHL pro. He's a vet. He needed to get a game eventually. Feel like game 1 of the roadie, especially with Regula getting rocked by Evander Kane. This is a spot I'm very okay with Stetcher play.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the nice thing, right? You've got a guy in Troy Stetcher here who has shown he can play in the NHL for a very long time. He's shown he can play well on the Edmonton Oilers blue line.
Very serviceable.
Very serviceable. I mean, I can't remember what preseason game it was. They're all a blur to me because I don't really care about the preseason much. But I remember one shift where he was skating up the ice and he looked like Quinn Hughes out there carrying the puck on his stick, which was really nice to see. Obviously, spent some time in Vancouver, learned a thing or two from old Hughesy boy out west there. Yeah, totally fine with it. Nice problem to have, right? Because, Jake Wallman's on the injured reserve. So, he's going to slot back in there at some point on this road trip here. Hopefully Thursday night, I think they were saying, against the New York Islanders. Hopefully.
Nobby's lied before, but I'm going to choose to believe.
Yeah. Nobby, not great with his whole injury reports and stuff like that. Day to day usually means a week means a month.
Remember Arvidsson? He was like, yeah, he'll be back soon. It was like a month, over a month.
Yeah.
I watched a shift of Victor Arvidsson yesterday, I believe it was. I was just watching the game, and he took this just stereotypical Victor Arvidsson penalty. He cross-checked Victor Hedman from behind, and he just went down so softly and immediately looked around like, oh, what are you talking about? Watch the replay. I'm like, yep, that's exactly the time. He was down on his legs all over. Oh, it was kind of nice to see
Blast from the
Victor.
past.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what you expected.
Mackay and Dry day-to-day equals 6 weeks. That's very true. The other thing, you just mentioned Victor Arvidsson there. It's crazy how much like you focus on a guy when he's an Oiler, and then you start talking about him there, and I went, what team does he play for? The Boston Bruins. I had to Google it because once you're off the oil, I mean, you're out of my brain. I can say that. Let's go now to the starting goaltender report. Brett, already forget. Who's that brought to you by again?
Odd Company.
Nation Beer, Everyday Lager, as we mentioned. Pick them up 2 locations in the Edmonton area. They go down smooth off camera. Zach's second one back right now.
Pause.
Yeah, hey, talking about beers here.
Sorry.
I guess off camera, I probably shouldn't have said it like that. Let's go now to the head-to-head, the tail of the tape between the 2 goaltenders in this hockey game. Igor against Stu. Igor, those numbers, they're nasty. 2-1-0, 0.67 goals against average with a 9.76 save percentage. Is that good? Yes, it is, with 1 shutout on the year. And then Stu, 2.77, 8.64. It's 1 game. He stopped 19 of 22 against the Calgary Flames. We all know it. The mistake, it was bad. It was awful. It was gross. It was inexcusable. It was Adam hockey level mistake, I guess you could say. But there was positives in that game from Stu Zach. He wasn't all that tested, but he did make some good saves. The thing we've talked about all summer, he is lighter. He looks like he's moving laterally better, which has always been a thing about Stuart Skinner that we noticed last season specifically. Was moving slow, side to side. It's only 1 game. Hopefully he can go grab it here. Madison Square Garden. That's a nice stage to try and, get your confidence back. Get a little, I don't want to say revenge, but a little retribution maybe will be the word that I use here. Stuart Skinner, it's going to be a long year. I continue to say, let's be positive here for at least October. I know all you people, you want heads on sticks, whatever. Stu, I believe in him. It's a really brutal way for him to start the season, so hopefully he can find a way to bounce back. Zach, I always say this. There's a lot of Stu haters out there, specifically the Super Gremlin, my buddy, who you know. Absolute piece. But the ideal scenario is that Stuart Skinner figures it out and finds his game, right? He is the local boy. He is the draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers. It would be much harder to try and find a trade or a free agency deal here for a goaltender next season. So let's go, Stu. Let's start it off here in Madison Square Garden. Zachary, 1 out of 10. Be real with me. Where's your confidence level in Stu tonight specifically?
Tonight specifically, give me like a solid 8.
I was going to say 8.
Like
let's
a pretty confident number right there. I feel good about this spot. So, I hope that it works out that way.
That's all we have is hope. That's all we have.
Hope will never die.
And I was about to say, hope will never die, especially in this building. And then on the other side, Igor Shesterkin, confirmed, very good at hockey. And I think we'll just leave it at that. The Oilers going to be in tough. Get traffic in front. It's always the age-old answer to every hot goaltender you're ever going to play against. Devin Dubnyk swears by it. It is that simple. Traffic in front, get in the blue paint, crash the net, talk some shit. That's the only way you can get a goaltender off of his game. Let's go now to the away lineup. It's brought to you by our awesome event we got coming up Thursday at Greta Bar Yeg. We get 1 studio show, and we're back downtown again at my favorite bar in the entire city. The first 2 games of the year, they were watch-alongs. This one is a watch party. It's free entry, all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. We got cool prizes given away. One that might even involve a bread man of sorts, not the one behind the computer desk right now, and not Artemi Panarin. Let you figure that one out there. All kinds of awesome deals. This Thursday, October 16th. Believe doors are open at 4. Pre-gaming's at 4:30. Games at 5:30. Let's have a night. Ty and Liam are going to be pre-gaming and post-gaming with me. So we're going to have an evening. Come on down. And Zach, I got pizza taquitos. The two games here, I got pizza taquitos, dill pickle fries, and street nuggets. And they were as good as I remembered, brother.
Oh, man. You're making me craving some pizza taquitos now.
That was so good. Should we DoorDash Greta?
I'm hungry.
I don't even know if they do that, but Yeah, it's true. I haven't eaten. I ate breakfast this morning. These 4 p.m. shows, they get in the way. But let's go now. The away lineup. Take a peek at it here for me, Bert. So your top line, the bread boy. Oh, nice. There it is. Bread boy, Artemi Panarin with Mika Zibanejad and Alexis Lafreniere. That's how you say his name, right? Lafreniere. There's too many of these guys. It's too much. AL. Will Cooley with JT Miller and Connor Sheary. Your third line, Johnny Brodzinski with Noah Laba and Taylor Radish. Fourth line, Adam Enstrom with the former Edmonton Oiler. The Carrick Bros, Syrup and Dever man himself, Sam Carrick and Matt Rempe expected to be in the lineup. Your deep pairings, Vladislav Gavrikov out of the Pacific Division over with the New York Rangers. He's paired with Adam Fox. Your second pairing, Matthew Robertson with Will Borgen and Euro Vakanainen with Braden Schneider. So he was a guy that was a thorn in the side of the Edmonton Oilers, specifically Connor McDavid, for many seasons. And that is one JT Miller, slated to be the Rangers' second line center tonight. We all know he was acquired from the Vancouver Canucks. They got a deal. He's wearing the C for these New York Rangers. We know him well. He's a scorer. He's a playmaker. He is tough to play against. He's a real SOB out there. And I'm happy that he's all the way in the Eastern Conference. I'm sure with the Rangers having last change, he's going to be like stink on a monkey on Connor McDavid. I'm sure JT Miller has had this matchup circled to start this year already. Either way, I mean, we've seen McDavid get the best of JT Miller. We've also seen JT Miller get the best of Connor McDavid before. Let's not have revisionist history. He scored some big goals. He's made some big plays against the Oilers before. And as I mentioned, Zach, I'm stoked that we don't have to watch this guy anymore all the time. I hated him so much. Like, in a good way. I mean that in a compliment.
Yeah, old Timothy. He's had some success against the Oilers in his career. 36 games played, 11 goals, 37 points. For any math aficionados over there, that's about a point per game. Not bad. So obviously a good player there. Will Cooley, I like him as well. Got some Will Cooley bags and fantasy this season. I think he's a decent player there. Connor Sheary, don't know if I love that as the option as the other winger there. But for me, it's this top line to really keep an eye on. Zibanejad, tons of shot volume early on this season here. Seems like he's kind of regaining some of that form that he had a couple of years ago. Obviously, quite a down year last year. And then Panarin, just what the engine that kind of chugs this Rangers machine along. Obviously been a bit of a tough start to the year for him. He's also a guy who's had success against the Oilers in his career. 19 games played rather, 8 goals and 22 points in them. So
also
that's
not a math guy, point per game.
A little over a point per game, actually. Yeah. And speaking of which, Alexis Lafreniere, 8 games played, 4 goals, 7 points. So these Rangers have had some success against the Edmonton Oilers in the past. Hopefully Stuart Skinner can stand on his head here tonight.
Here we go. Bert, if you had to look at that lineup, player to watch, I did. Vladislav Gavrikov, right? Big addition for the New York Rangers this summer. 7-year ticket, $49 million total. Not a big deal. Playing on the top pairing with Adam Fox. He could be a player. I mean, for me, it's Adam Fox on the back end. He's already leading this team in points. He has 3 goals in 4 games. The dude is nasty. I want to see Connor McDavid dog walk him. Bert, who's your player to watch?
Yeah, I'll give 2 quick ones. Both of them are Alberta boys. Matt Rempe, of course, on the bottom line, 4th line for New York. Just got to watch out for any potential shenanigans that he might throw out there. And I'm going with the former Edmonton Oil King, Matthew Robertson, on that second pairing. Happy that he's getting a shot finally here in the league and getting regular minutes. Not only regular minutes, but to be able to be on that second pairing with a guy that the Rangers trust in Will Borgen. I'm very excited to see what Matthew Robertson can do in a game that I'm sure he's really excited to play in as well. So, Rempe and Robertson are my 2 to watch tonight.
I see your new stepdad says Ike Howard 2-goal game. What would the odds be on something like that?
Well, I could tell you. Just give me a second.
Also, Sean Orkoff's in, and he says, boo, JT Miller. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself. I also just unplugged the screen there because I hit my HDMI cord. Let's quickly do, I did get what I asked for. A super chat from our pal Mick High and Dry. He's back, baby, in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. Let me clear this. Bars are back. This one's for Jack F. Myers for trying to hurt the McSack. Get a Greta Big Mac and enjoy the boys smoke that New York Rangers pack. Cup yak.
Cup yak.
this guy, Mackay and Dry. And now that I've met you in person and we've gotten to see each other face to face a couple times, you're the man. You're just a fucking man, dude. You do this all the time. And now that I know what you do for a real profession, I'm pretty sure I've shared with both of you. You might be the smartest guy in this entire chat, definitely in this room. Let's go now. Bordzy's Bankroll brought to you by Bet365. I almost knocked my mic out right there. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today to get in on the moments. Use the promo code NATION when you download the app. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. And as I always say, only bet what you are willing to lose. We don't unit shame. You could put down 10 cents. I don't care. If you won, you won. That's all that matters. So let's pull it up here. Bert, my 3 options this evening. Zachary, we're kicking it off with Jack Roslovic, 2+ shots on goal. It is -115 just for 2 of them. And the spin zone I'm giving it is that when you're playing with new faces, guys you aren't that all familiar with, shooting the puck is never a bad idea and throwing it on the net. And I hope that's the way Roslovic's brain is working tonight. Second one, the bread man, the number 1 bread man, Andrew Mangiapane, 1+ point. He's 2 for 2. And tonight he gets the top line responsibility with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, +140 for 1 point. Whoever is on 97 and 29's line, if you're giving me +140, you just bank it off your shin pad and you might find a way to get that done. Then your third option, Tommy Smokes, 2+ shots on goal at -140. He's been around it in the first 2 games, obviously as a spot net front on PP1. He had 3 shots in game 1, 4 shots in game 2, and I just need 2 of them this evening. When I look at this, let me play these together for a quick second as I make my parlay as we go along. Mangiapane for that, Tomasek for 2, and who was the other one? Roslovic for 2. +650 parlayed on Bet365. That's juicy. That's nice. Zachary, do you like the parlay together? And which of those 3 do you like the most?
Yeah, I like the parlay together. I like the Tomasek one the best. Through his first 2 games here with the Edmonton Oilers against Calgary, 3 shots on goal, 4 shots on goal against the Vancouver Canucks. Loves to shoot the pill. We love to see that, and especially on the power play. Talked about that being a key to the game for me earlier on here in the show, and I'm going back to that well here now.
Bert, you got anything going at Bet365 this evening?
I am doing the same thing with along with Tomasek, Tommy Smokes, but I'm actually going 4+ shots. And I'm also putting down a goal, and I'm also parlaying those together.
There we go. I'll meet you at the cashier, gentlemen. Meet you at the cashier. That is not legally binding, and I do not agree with that. Let's go now. I guess final one. People throw in your score predictions and your anytime goal scores for the Edmonton Oilers. Zachary, I'll let you go first. How's this game going to finish? Who gets on the board for the Oilers?
4-1 win for the Edmonton Oilers, and we're going to have David Tomasek's first NHL goal.
Bert, what about you?
I feel like I'm backing Zach so much today. I'll go 4-2 Oil and David Tomasek goal as well. Tommy Smokes.
For me, I think there's going to be I'm going to go 3-2 for the Edmonton Oilers in regulation. They'll find a way to get it done. The empty net. They scored one on Saturday. The curse is going to continue. They're not going to find a way to bury into the empty netter. And for my anytime goal scorer, it's chalk. It is what it is. Leon Draisaitl to find the back of the net. Maybe he can lead the NHL once again in goals. I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for pre-gaming. Nice and early in the afternoon with us. We always appreciate Gord. 5-2 Edmonton. Mr. Burns, 4-2 Oilers, Pod Colson. That trio, if they can find, it's going to be the greasy, grossest goal if that trio can find a way to score one. Gord, 5-2 Edmonton with Tommy Smoke specifically. He wanted to add that in. Mackay and Dry, might as well do Tomasek power play point. That's not a bad idea. Let me take a peek at that one before we head on out.
Plus 375.
That's something I can get down with for you, those of you at home. Once again, do so responsibly. But I love and appreciate all of you. We will be live right here in studio for Oilers Nation After Dark, which I guess at this time of the year, it probably will be dark at that point. It's getting sadder. Seasonal depression starting to kick in. That's why you got pre-gaming and post-gaming throughout the year. I love you all. I love our sponsors, Bet365, Oodle Noodle, Odd Company, Willock Beef Jerky. Couldn't do anything we do without them. Get in the YouTube chat for the post-game events. Talk it out throughout the evening, and you and I will talk in a couple hours, hopefully breaking down an Edmonton Oilers W. Zach, I love and appreciate you. Brett, I love and appreciate you. And you, the viewer, I love and appreciate you. Good luck out there on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. We will talk in a bit. Peace out.